Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm just gonna share with you my book haul. I guess you could say that this is a collective book haul. Is that what you call it? Yeah, because of course I did not buy all of this in one go. These were purchases from the month of June and July. So this is a book. This is How You Lose the Time War is by Amal El Motar. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, please feel free to correct me in the comment section. And also by Max Gladstone. So this is a collaborative it's a collaboration between two authors, and it's actually about two agents in a war, I guess. One is called Blue and one is called Red. I'm going in here blind. I don't really know much about it, but it's very, very interesting. It's a According to Booklist, a blurb from Booklist says it's a twisting sapphic time travel fantasy love story that never stops surprising. Readers will reach the end and want to turn back to the start. I love it. I can't wait to read it. Okay. Next, we have, of course, uh, due to the release of her latest book, Intermezzo, um, I got Normal People by Sally Rooney here. And it's also still in its plastic covering because I just want it, I prefer it that way so it doesn't get, what do you call it? It doesn't get dusty or it doesn't get damaged while, it's sitting on my shelf waiting to be read. The first book that I got by Sally Rooney was Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I've heard a lot of good things about Normal People, so I gave in and got this. I can't get my hands on a paperback of the Intermezzo copy yet, and I'm waiting for that. So if it comes out, I might purchase it. But yeah, I have not read anything by Sally Rooney yet, although I do have two of her books. But I think I'm gonna like her writing, so I got this. Okay, so Normal People is about um guys, okay, I am going blind. I'm going into all these books blind. So pardon me if I cannot tell you exactly what the book is about. I have yet to read them. So I will try my best though. Um okay, I'll just read the back of the this book. Okay, so it's about two people, Connell and Marion. Connell is the popular kid in school, and Marion is the loner. But when the two strike up a conversation, it's awkward but electrifying. So this book, Normal People, according to the back, is the story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from that first conversation to the years beyond in the company of two people who try to stay apart but find that they can't. I love this. Oh, it's also a Hulu original series. So yeah, I like that. That's interesting. Also, I have here Bunny by Mona Awad. This is the first time I'm reading. Actually, I feel like most of the books that I got, it is the first time that I will be reading um, the author's work because for the longest time after I've had kids, for the longest time I was not able to pick up a book because as a mom, you have a lot of things going on and you find that you really don't have the time for yourself most of the time. Yeah. So, but when I was a kid growing up, I devoured books. I love books. I was always in the library in our school. And one embarrassing, I consider this an embarrassing moment. I even won in high school. I won Best Borrower Award, which I think further cemented my loser status in school. But yeah, that's in the past. Whenever I think about it, I just, laugh. But I still feel a little bit embarrassed. Anyway, so I got Bunny here. I've heard mixed reviews about this book. Um, but I don't know. I like the premise of the story. It's about a scholarship student who prefers the company of her dark imagination to that of most people. So Samantha Heather Mackey is utterly repelled by the rest of her graduate fiction writing cohort at New England's elite Warren University. And then it's a clique of unbearably saccharine yet sinister rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's world, and begins to take part in their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon her friendships with Ava and the bunnies will be brought into deadly collision. Okay, that's interesting. Well, yeah, despite the mixed reviews, I am very, very curious about this book, and so, yes, I bought it. And then next up, we have All Fours by Miranda July. Okay, so this one is about a semi famous artist who announces her plan to drive cross country from LA to New York City. 30 minutes after leaving her husband and child at home, she spontaneously exits the freeway, checks into a nondescript motel, and immerses herself in an entirely different journey. I like that. It says here, a blurb by George Sanders says, a giddy, bold, mind blowing tour de force. Did I pronounce that right? Did I say that right? But yeah, I like it. It's interesting. It says an irreverently sexy, tender, hilarious, and surprising novel about a woman upending her life. I mean, don't you just as a mother, sometimes I have like a little bit of sometimes I have fantasies of just going off on my own without my kids, without my husband, and I don't know. I don't know where that story is gonna take me here, but you know, interesting. Next up, we have Coco Meller's Blue Sisters. This one, and I have her other novel, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which is still on my TBR list, but I'll get around to reading that. But yeah, I just feel like Coco Mellors is an author whose writing I'm gonna enjoy, which is why I bought Cleopatra and Frankenstein and Blue Sisters. Plus, I really, really love the covers of her book. It's so artsy. So this one is about three estranged siblings who return to their family home in New York after their beloved sister's death. So it's a story about grief, hope, and the complexities of family. I like that. I think I've been saying I like that for all the books that I've, shown you guys. But really, I wouldn't buy them if I didn't like them, right? Anyway, next up we have Dolly Alderton's Good Material. I know this has been out for like, a long time now. And I really I was waiting for the paperback copy to be available in the bookstore that I frequent. But I've been seeing this and I just gave in and bought the hardback book. So I'm just gonna read to you a blurb by Lena Dunham. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her name. Um, Again, you can correct me in the comment section. So she says, have you ever wondered what the lost love was thinking? In this ingeniously constructed and endlessly amusing novel, Dolly Alderton flips the script on everything we think we know about romantic loss. Wise and relatable, and pee in your pants funny, I cried by page 5. Dolly Alderton is quite simply the bard of modern day love. I like that. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, next. This one I've been wanting for quite some time now, but I do not know why I keep putting off buying this one. So this one is Diary of a Void by Emi Yagi. Okay, so this one is about 34-year-old Shibata who gets a new job in Tokyo to escape sexual harassment at her old one. I hope you can hear the dog outside barking. So she finds that as the only woman in her new workplace, she's expected to do all the menial tasks. And so I guess she pretends to be pregnant so that they don't keep giving her this tasks. But the thing is, yeah, she's not pregnant, and I'm very interested in how that's going to unfold. Okay, so a blurb by Nerdette says that this book is unhinged in the best possible way. Read it if you keep fantasizing about how to never have to work again. I love that. Okay, so Diary of a Void by Emmy Yagi. Okay, next up we have On Fire Island by Jane L. Rosen. Okay, now, oh, there's a blurb by Ellen Hilderbrand, and she says that this book is an irresistible escape. So that's good. It's about a book editor, Julia Morse, and she dies unexpectedly at the age of 37. So rather than following the light at the end of the proverbial tunnel, she chooses to spend one last summer near those she loves most. So, as she follows her adoring novelist husband Ben to their unexpectedly full home on Fire Island, she discovers the ripple effect her life has had on the trajectory of so many. Her baseball loving young at heart neighbor who believes it's best not to go it alone, two bright eyed teenagers eager to become adults, and her best friend who must shake off heartbreak for a new chance at love. So, very interesting. I'm excited to read all of my book. Like, I feel like I'm coming back to a long lost love, or a long lost friend, a good friend. Because for the longest time, books have been my companion, and I'm just so happy that I'm getting back to reading. I have more time now with the kids getting bigger, I have more time to myself to read. And then next we have No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. Please correct me in the comment section. Yeah, it's Osamu Dazai. No Longer Human. I have heard great things about this book. So this book is a powerful, it says here that this book is a powerful exploration of an individual's alienation from society. So portraying himself as a failure, the protagonist of Osamu Dazai's No Longer Human narrates a seemingly normal life even while he feels himself incapable of understanding human beings. Obayozo's attempts to reconcile himself to the world around him begin in early childhood, continue through high school, where he becomes a clown to mask his alienation, and eventually lead to a failed, offing yourself, I guess, attempt as an adult. So without sentimentality, he records the casual cruelties of life and its fleeting moments of human connection and tenderness. So yeah. Next, another book that I have heard so many good things about, you know, and of course, if I hear good things about a book, it's an automatic buy. I'm buying it. Um, it is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. Kazuo Ishiguro is a Booker Prize winning author. Wow, cool. That's really cool. As children, Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy were students at Hailsham, an exclusive boarding school secluded in the English countryside. It was a place of mercurial cliques and mysterious rules, and teachers were constantly reminding their charges of how special they were. Now, years later, Kathy is a young woman. Ruth and Tommy have re entered her life, and for the first time, she's beginning to look back at their shared past and understand just what it is that makes them so special, and how that gift will reshape and how that gift will shape the rest of their time together. And another one of my growing Japanese translated book collection, I guess you could say, is More Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. I have been waiting for this one for ages. Well, it felt like ages. But I read the first book, Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, back in April. And when I heard that there's gonna be, I really love that book. And when I heard that there's gonna be a second book, I knew I had to buy it. So it's about Takako. She's this woman Takako and her uncle Satoru. So in the first book, it's Takako was trying to get over a heartbreak. She was trying to heal from a heartbreak, and what she did was quit her job. And did she quit her job? I don't remember if she quit her job, but she went to her uncle Satoru's used bookshop, and she stayed there, and I think she worked there for a while in exchange for lodging. And in her uncle's bookshop, she I guess she rekindled her love for books, for love for reading. Now, in this book, it is also again set in the beloved Japanese bookshop and nearby coffee shop in the Jimbocho neighborhood of Tokyo. More Days at the Morisaki Bookshop deepens the relationships among Takako, her uncle Satoru, and the people in their lives. Ooh, I hope I will get to see more, um, uh, you know, more about I will get to read more about the side characters in this book, because in the first book they were very interesting and I would have loved to know more about them, but there was not much. So a new cast of heartwarming regulars have appeared in the shop, including an old man who wears the same ragged mouse-collared sweater and another who collects books solely for the official stamps with the author's personal seal. Satoshi Yagisawa illuminates the everyday relationships among people that are forged and grown through a shared love of books. Characters leave and return, fall in and out of love, and some eventually die. I'm not in the mood to cry, but whatever. So as time passes, Satoru, with Takako's help, must choose whether to keep the bookshop open or shutter its doors forever. Oh my god, that's so sad. Making the decision will take uncle and niece on an emotional journey back to their family's roots and remind them again what a bookstore can mean to an individual, a neighborhood, and a whole culture. Next, I have The Woman Who Had Two Navels. This one is by a local author, local here in the Philippines because I live in the Philippines. And it's by Nick Joaquin. And Nick Joaquin was a novelist, playwright, poet, journalist, historian, and biographer, and has been the recipient of almost all of the prestigious awards in literature and the arts. This is about Connie Escobar. I guess she's that one in the cover. It's about Connie Escobar, and she always thought that she had two navels, and this did not sit right with her. So she asks Dr. Pepe Monson to remove one of her navels, and then her life takes a turn for the worse when she discovers a most disturbing family secret. And then she feels betrayed. She flees to Hong Kong, where she faces even more unsettling truths. So yeah. And then the next book that I got is Herc by Phoenicia Rogerson. There, I don't can you see it. I have my light here, so it's kind of dark where I am. This is my attic slash studio for crafts. If you can see my Cricut, and it's very messy. And this adhesive wallpaper thing is coming. So it says here at the back that this should be the story of Hercules, but actually this is the story of everyone else. Alcmene, Herc's mother. She has knives everywhere. Hylas, Herc's first friend. They were more than friends. Megara, Megara, Herc's wife. She'll tell you about their marriage. Eurystheus oversaw Herc's labors. He never asked for the job. So it's a book about his friends, enemies, wives, children, lovers, rivals, gods, and victims. So yeah, very very interesting. Next, I bought Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. Tales of the Celestial Kingdom. I think it's another one of her books. I'm very interested in that book. I don't know why I got this one instead, but I will buy that one soon. It has a very beautiful cover, and the synopsis is also very interesting. But yeah, I got this one. It's about a captivating and romantic debut fantasy inspired by the legend of Chang'e Chang'e, I don't know. Sorry, the Chinese moon goddess, in which a woman's quest to free her mother pits her against the most powerful immortal in the realm. So that's all I'm gonna say because look at the back. That's a lot. That's a lot. Up next, I am pretty sure you've been seeing a lot of this on social media, especially here on BookTube. And it's Emily Henry's latest book, Funny Story. And I'm not going to read the synopsis of this book anymore because I'm pretty sure you already know. If you're, into watching booktubers, I'm pretty sure you already know what this is about. But yeah, it's her latest book. And um, to be honest, I've only read one book by Emily Henry, which is Book Lovers, and sadly, I did not really like that uh, book. But I've been hearing good things about this, so I think I'll give her a chance. I also got one more of her book, which I'll show you. Yeah, I couldn't resist. I'm not one to write off an author after reading one bad book or one bad book in my opinion. So I also got her book Beach Read. Yeah. I really, really hope I love at least one of these books because if I don't like both of them, then I guess that's it. Next up is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. And I couldn't resist buying this book. It's quite heavy actually. I couldn't resist it because of the sprayed edges, the pink sprayed edges, and pink is my favorite color, so I could not resist. And I like the synopsis. It's about Emma Wheeler, and she's a screenwriter. Well, actually, she longs to be a screenwriter. I think she's just freelancing and doing ghost writing. And so when she gets a chance to rewrite a script for famous screenwriter Charlie Yates, which she's also a fan of, a big fan of, I guess. And so Emma moves to LA for 6 weeks to work with Charlie Yates. And I think, yeah, it's gonna be an enemies to lovers um, type of story. Okay, next we have, and I don't have to tell you the synopsis of the story because I feel like I am so late to the party. It's I think the final book of the ACOTAR series. It's A Court of Silver Flames. I don't know, is it the last book? Yeah, this one. Okay, so I have heard some things about this book that makes me hesitant to continue after the third one. But okay, I don't care. I'll just, go through with it. Anyway, next up we have Frederick Backman's My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry. So I was supposed to finally give in and get Bear Town or A Man Called Ove because those are the two most popular books, I guess, by this author. But someone actually I think there was only one copy of the book Bear Town, which I was gonna get. I finally decided, okay, fine, I'm gonna get it, and then I went back for it, but it was no longer on the shelf, and this was the only one left. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get it. It seems interesting. The title seems interesting. So this one is about Elsa. Elsa is 7 years old and different. Her grandmother is 77 years old and crazy, as in standing on the balcony firing paintball guns at strangers crazy. She is also Elsa's best and only friend. At night, Elsa takes refuge in her grandmother's stories in the land of Almost Awake and the kingdom of Mayamas, where everybody is different and nobody needs to be normal. So when Elsa's grandmother dies and leaves behind a series of letters apologizing to people she has wronged, Elsa's greatest adventure begins. Her grandmother's instructions lead her to an apartment building full of misfits, monsters, attack dogs, and old crones, but also to the truth about fairy tales and kingdoms and a grandmother like no other. And then we have another romance novel, which is The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. And it's about a recently deceased woman who meets the one in the afterlife waiting room, scoring a second chance at life and love. If she can find him on earth before 10 days are up, ooh, okay. It's a GMA book club pick. I can't wait to read it. Love it. Love it. Guys, I still have so many, so I'm just gonna through it all, okay? Okay, next we have another Japanese translated book, How Do You Live by Genzaburo Yoshino. I'm so sorry if I am butchering it. But this one is translated by Bruno Navasky. Ooh, I did not mention oh, this one is translated by Eric Azawa, by the way. This one is translated by Bruno Navasky. Okay, so How You Live is a classical Japanese coming of age novel, often compared to The Alchemist and The Little Prince. Ooh, The Little Prince is my favorite book, so that's interesting. A young man sets out to find his place in a world both infinitely large and unimaginably small. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say. How Do You Live by Janzaburo Yoshino. And then I've got Almond here, which I've heard good things about. It's about Yoon Jae. He has this brain condition called alexithymia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This condition makes it hard for him to feel emotions like fear or anger. And he does not have friends. He only has his mother and his grandmother. But when something happened to them, it changes, things, obviously. So, struggling to cope with his loss, Yoon-jae retreats into silent isolation until troubled teenager Gon arrives at school. The two form a surprising bond, and when Gon suddenly finds his life at risk, Yoon-jae will have to step outside of every comfort zone he has created to perhaps become the hero of his own story. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of books here. Next, we have What You Are Looking For is in the Library, another popular book that I've heard so much about. So it's about an enigmatic librarian, Sayuri Komachi, who is able to sense exactly what each visitor to her library is searching for and provide just the book recommendation to help them find it. And then next, these are the books that I got from the Big Bad Wolf. It's this very large book fair in the Philippines with books that are sold very cheap or at sale price. Okay, I'm not gonna remove them in their plastic packaging, but I got this one. It's a vintage classics book. Picnic at Hanging Rock. Who is the author? I don't know who the author is. Lindsay. But yeah, it is Picnic at Hanging Rock. So I have heard way, way back, I have already heard this Hanging Rock, Picnic at Hanging Rock. And when I saw the book, I was like, okay, I want to read more about it. And so I got that. And then we have Roald Dahl's Deception. I didn't know that Roald Dahl writes books like this for adults, I guess. And I am a huge fan of Roald Dahl since I was a kid. So that's pretty surprising and interesting, intriguing. And then we have Ernest Hemingway, Across the River and Into the Trees. Anyway, we have here Kim Ji Young, born 1982, by Cho Nam Ju, translated by Jamie Chang. So Kim Ji Young is a girl born to a mother whose in-laws wanted a boy. Kim Ji Young is a daughter whose father blames her when she's harassed late at night. Kim Ji Young is a model employee who gets overlooked for promotion. Kim Ji Young is a sister made to share a room while her brother gets one of his own. Kim Ji Young is a wife who gives up her career and independence for a life of domesticity. Kim Ji Young Kim Ji Young has started acting strangely. Kim Ji Young is depressed. Kim Ji Young is mad. Kim Ji Young is her own woman, and Kim Ji Young is every woman. So yeah, like something about female rage, and I'm like, oh, I relate. So, and then we have another translated book, Sweet Bean Paste by Durian Sukegawa. So this is supposed to be like a cozy book. This is about a man who has a criminal record. He drinks too much, and his dreams of becoming a writer is just a distant memory. Now, with only the blossoming of the cherry trees to mark the passing of time, he spends his days in a tiny confectionery shop selling dorayaki, a type of pancake filled with sweet bean paste. Until, that is, Tokue comes into his life, an elderly woman with disfigured hands and a troubled past. She makes the best sweet bean paste Sentara has ever tasted. So, they form an unlikeliest friendship, but I think something happens when Tokue's dark secret comes to light. Interesting. Interesting. And, okay. Okay, so this book, Perfume, I have been wanting to read this for the longest time too, since I was in college when I first heard about it from a friend of mine. So she was the one who told me about this book, Perfume, and I have been looking all over for it. Or I guess I wasn't looking hard enough, but I tried looking for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And yeah, so when I saw this in the bookstore recently, I did not even think about it. I just got it. So this one is about I think if you are a book lover, if you are a bookworm, you most likely know about this book already. So I think it's about this criminal who kills women and gets their scent. I think he's like obsessed with scents. Oh, because he has no scent of his own. Hmm. What? Okay. So, it's about in the slums of the 18th century Paris, a baby is born. Jean Baptiste Grenouille clings to life with an iron will, growing into a dark and sinister young man who, although he has no scent of his own, possesses an incomparable sense of smell. So he apprentices himself to a perfumer and quickly masters the ancient art of mixing flowers, herbs, and oils. But his quest to create the ultimate perfume leads him to commit a series of brutal murders with until no woman can feel safe as his final horrifying secret is revealed. So that's that. Oof, interesting. Oh, another Roald Dahl book. This one is Trickery, Tales of Deceit and Cunning. And then, oh, we are down to the last 5 books. So I got All the Light We Cannot See. I have seen this before when I was younger. And I never really gave this much of a thought. But when I saw the Netflix, the clips of it's Netflix. I don't know if it's a series or a movie. Um, I got hooked. I was interested. I bought it. And then we have Ashley Poston, A Novel Love Story. This one, I read this in June. I bought this in June, read this in June. Um, I did not like this. I love her book, The 7 Year Slip. I love that. So I thought I was going to love this one, but unfortunately I did not. Okay, and then another one that I have seen before and I just ignored but was really interested in getting. I don't know how to explain that. Okay. Okay, so another book we have here, we are down to the last 3 books. Psyche and Eros. Psyche and Eros by Luna McNamara. There. So growing up, I loved mythology. I love mythology. Roman mythology, Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology. I love them all. And I grew up reading about them, a lot about them. And Psyche and Eros were one of the ones that I was very, very interested in. So it is sort of a retelling of their love story. Okay, so I got Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. And the second book, Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. And I heard good things about this book from the Book Leo, and from other reviews as well on Goodreads. And I like cozy reads. I like cozy reads. I enjoy them a lot. And so, cozy read, fairies. I'm in. I'm in. I hope you enjoyed this video as I have enjoyed sharing with you the books that I recently got. And I hope I see you again in my next video. Bye!